It is Karen Valentine here, and I'm going to be coloring this beautiful Pirate Girl image by Matt Davidson. You can find this image along with many other beautiful things that he does with his wife, Dawn Davidson, Matt Davidson. You can get those on Etsy. So we're going to give this one a go. This is my first time doing a video like this, so you will probably find that I sound a little nervous, but hopefully we will have some fun. I'm going to try and make it as easy for you to follow along or see what I'm doing as possible, but I don't have all the fancy equipment that some of the other YouTubers have, so we're just going to give it a go as is. So the first color that I'm going to use is Prismacolor 1081 Chestnut. It's a new color for me to use in the shadows and the contours of the face for skin. I had been using some luminance pencils along with my Prismacolors, but I thought for the sake of the video it might be better to just stick with all Prismacolors. So this was the color that came close to what I was using in the luminance. So we're just going to go ahead and start. I never know if people like to hear others talking in their YouTube videos or if they like music. I just don't know what the right thing to do is as far as that goes. So I am using a very, very light touch. My pencil is just kind of skimming over the top of the paper. I'm going to try and build up the layers rather than going too heavy to start with, especially with the dark colors, because then they don't blend out very nicely. Now, Mr. Davidson has very kindly provided some shadows or some, shading, so you can kind of see where the shading goes. Things like that are great when you're starting to learn how to do faces, because it really helps you learn where the natural shadows would go, so that when you feel ready to maybe do just a straight line art piece, your brain kind of has already been practicing and remembering where the natural shadows go. I find myself when I'm watching TV now, I never used to do this before, but I find myself looking at the faces and actually noticing where the contours of the face, where the light hits, where the shadows hit, the shapes of noses and eyes and things like that. So hopefully this is close enough. Maybe I can go a little bit closer for you guys. Hopefully you can see that okay. When I first saw this image pop up in Etsy, because I follow their Etsy shop, I knew I had to color this one. I just loved it. Sometimes, before I print an image, I will, on my computer, because I have Photoshop Elements, so I will get on my computer with that image, and I sometimes will erase or lighten some of the lines or the shadows. I don't always exactly love where the the artist puts the shadows in. I like to do it myself, but in this case I thought I would just do it as is. Photoshop Elements is a wonderful program to be able to edit your artwork before you print it. And it's less than $100 for Photoshop Elements, and it is just the most wonderful tool. You can resize, erase, you can add things in if you want to. I don't know, do you guys want to see this entire, maybe I'll break it up into doing just the skin for this video. And then do a couple of different videos. I'm not sure how long of an attention span you guys have. I know sometimes I get bored or I want to move on. So you guys will have to let me know. And I'm always open to constructive feedback, and let me know if you like full-on color alongs or if you like short little tutorial videos better. Okay, let's so there's the first layer, I think. Oops. And that was chestnut. I think I'm going to try adding my next layer and use Prismacolor 943, and that is burnt ochre. Hopefully that stays in frame at least for a little while. I do tend to move my my page around a lot, changing the angles on it. I don't just color in one direction. So here Matt has provided this really nice dark deep shadow where the face and the hat would provide some shade. Oh, I forgot over here. So again, just right now I'm just using really light strokes and kind of a circular motion. You don't, I don't anyway, I don't very often do I do a straight back and forth movement, even though it might look like it. My pencil is always kind of going in a circle. And I'm just kind of blending out a little bit. I don't want to, I feel like I'm rushing, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to rush. Nerves make me do that. Go back to that chestnut again. The chestnut is really, really nice also if you're doing grayscale, more of a grayscale than this is, because it's got some red undertones, and so it helps to counter that gray look that you get when you are doing grayscale. It warms it up and makes it look more natural. But I also like it when I'm doing it on white paper. Okay, I think it is time for light peach. That is probably the most often used, oops, sorry about the camera, probably the most often used skin color in the Prismacolors. Peach. Love a nice sharp pencil lead. Okay, so when I'm on the parts that I've done the contouring on, I give it a little bit more pressure than when I'm going to go straight onto, oh, I probably am going to have to go back and add some contouring on that ear. I totally forgot about it. Okay, so when I'm using the peach over the parts that I did the shading and the contouring on, I go a little bit heavier than when I'm going to do it on just the face, where I haven't put any color yet. Because if I go heavy there, it's going to be quite dark, and I don't want it to be that dark yet. We're going to blend out. Probably have to come back in there and add some. I'm going to leave this area here white to give it a little bit of highlight there. The camera is shaking. That's going to be very distracting for you guys, I think. I may have to figure out how to keep that from happening. Okay, so we're going to call this the heavily sided part of her face. Heavily shadowed, I guess is what I mean. Yeah, that is just a shaky camera. That would drive me crazy. How are we going to fix that? I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. I don't have one of those nice ones that mount from above. Might have to look into that. Well, guys, it is one of my very first videos, so I'm going to try not to worry about perfection. Okay, let's think about where some of these highlights are going to show up on her chest. I think we'll just sometimes it's hard to tell where I think that looks pretty good. I'll just Okay, I think we're going to go kind of light up here. I think that looks okay. And then just kind of feather it out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to add some more chestnut. Sorry. I'm going to do a bit of nose contouring. A little bit more than the artist has provided. Let's see. I often work with two pencils in my hand, one in each hand, just kind of switching back and forth. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more in here above the eyes. And a little more shading under her eye. And then a little bit more in the darkest areas. Okay, I'm going to go back, do another layer of the peach, light peach. Light peach. Sharpen. Try and remember to stay out of those highlight areas. That was and still is one of the hardest things for me to remember, is not to put pencil in where I want it to be extra light. I'm still learning. Hopefully I'll keep learning for a long time. Okay, I think that I am ready to add the eggshell. This is Prismacolor 140 eggshell. And this is going to go over the whole thing. Sometimes that pencil is just too sharp. And this is I'm gonna kind of give it a firm, gosh darn it, that camera's shaking again. A firm, I keep forgetting the ear, touch, because I'm kind of using it to really kind of help blend those colors together now. I gotta come in and get some more color on that ear. Really quick. See, I told you, this is not going to be a perfect video. This is just going to be me doing my thing. More peach. Okay, let's try this again. And again, we're going to stay away from those white spots because those are your highlights. I don't have my white. Now, I may have to stop the video and then come back. I may not. I kind of tend, when I'm doing the eggshell, I kind of feather it into the really light area. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. With skin, there's always lots of colors. And the more interesting, as I've studied what other artists do, and not just colorists, but actual artists who do portraits, there's never just, 3 or 4 different colors in skin. There are multiple colors, and the more colors I think you can use, I think the more interesting it becomes. I'm going to pull my white out. I just ordered a box of 12 white pencils because I go through them so fast. Okay. I don't think I want that yet. Well, maybe to just get that going on the nose, right there on the tip of the nose. Sometimes if you don't leave that empty space, there's not a lot that you can do to get it light, or even the Prisma white, which is so awesome. Okay, this is Grade Lavender, PC 1026, I think. I don't know why I'm writing these down. They never seem to stay in frame. 1026, PC 1026. This I'm just going to use kind of on the outer edges. It helps with shadows, and it, like I said, it adds, even though maybe it's not super duper noticeable, it adds just another interesting layer of color that maybe you wouldn't expect to see in a skin tone, but I'll do some more down here. Okay. Next, let's see. I don't know if that's peach in there that I missed. That's her little Cupid's bow. That's better, I think. I might come back in with some more of that chestnut. Okay, this is Mineral Orange, PC 1033. I think I'm going to give up on those little guys. And I'm going to use this very, very lightly. Again, just to add I want to blend again with some more peach. We're going to try and again, kind of really get a lot lighter as you go to where the really light highlights would be. This arm looks to me like it needs a little more blending. Okay, I think it's time. Let's see, more. Maybe, but I think I want to give her a little bit of pink, a little pink on her cheeks. I keep all of my pencils, oops, sorry about that, in these books. I know, I'm such a dork. Okay, so this one I think PC 928 is blush pink. I'm not sure if that's going to be dark enough. But I don't want, yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't want her to look like she's a fashion model with totally made up. I want it to be a little bit more natural. Okay, and then the white. I kind of make sure, I tend to, oh, where am I in the screen? There we go. I kind of make sure that my white is clean because it tends to pick up the last color that I used. And that can be a real bummer if you wind up throwing green on her face. Okay, so the white is going in the highlighted areas. And it can blend out to the rest of the times. I might even go over the whole thing with the white. Oops, sorry. Okay, am I happy with that? I feel like she's a little orange there. So let's see what happens if we add some white. Oh yeah, that's much better. Well, that looks pretty good to me. Let's see. We have light umber, PC 941. I might try and do a little bit more shadowing under the eye. I might just finish her off with a teensy little bit more of that chestnut. Sometimes after you blend and blend and blend, some of those dark areas get a little bit too light. I might want to come in and darken them up just a little bit more. Especially right up underneath her. with the lockdowns going on everywhere right now, I am not working very much. There's my regular job is I sell in a vintage boutique, a vintage market. I refinish furniture and I do handmade things, and we do that once a month. But we have not been able to have a show. We didn't have a show last month, and we will not be having a show this month. And there's really nowhere for me to go to find new pieces and do stuff, so I have a bit more time on my hands. I'm going to try and use this blender. This is a Prismacolor blender. I don't have my Luminance blender in front of me, which is what I would prefer to use. But sometimes I feel like it just needs a little extra hand to get the smoothness that I want. Sorry about the shaky camera. Oh. For the next video, I'll have to figure out how to fix that. Okay. She looks pretty good. I know a lot of people don't like to use blenders. They do all the blending with the pencil, and that is a perfectly good option if that's how you prefer to do things. You know, in the art world, everybody has their way of doing things that they really like, and no way is right or wrong. It's whatever works best for you. I feel like I want to do something else with that nose, but I'm not sure what, and I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up if I keep going, but I'm going to try and add just a little bit more dark. Right there. Peach. Let's see. I think that looks pretty good. Should we do some lips? Let's do some lips. Going again. I'm going to put white right in the pouty part of her bottom lip. And then my favorite color combination for lips is PC 1092 Nectar. I'm going to come in and make lines. Kind of, can you see? Kind of, and blend it up into that white. Try not to cover up too much of that white. And then I like to use 937 Tuscan Red. Something about the combination of those two colors in my opinion, makes for a really pretty lip color. And again, just kind of feathering it in the direction that you'd normally have lines, those lips. Looks pretty good. A little blending. All right, what color are we going to do her eyes? Probably my go-to color for eyes for some reason, even though I don't have green eyes. I love the way green eyes look, so we're going to pull out a couple of greens. Oh, and my... Okay. Make sure you have a really nice sharp pencil so you... And same with the lips. When I do the eyes, I make straight lines from the outer edge into the eyeball. And you can either use the highlights that the artist has given you, or sometimes they wind up getting covered up and I just add them back in. She's going to need a highlight over here. And then the eyeballs on her are pretty tiny, so sometimes you can't get a whole lot of detail. Yeah, there's nothing's going to happen there. And then I'm going to take a black and I'm going to just go around and blend in a little bit where, kind of like, so that the, because there's always a little bit of a darker area around the iris. She looks like she's just blind in one eye for some reason. It's amazing what that little white highlight does for to bring the eyes and make them look. Okay, sorry about that. I guess that's what happens when you shoot with your phone. A phone call comes in and it completely kills your video. So what I was saying before was it's amazing how that little dot of white in an eye takes an eye from looking flat and dead to alive. It's just amazing. So I'm just going to add a little highlight to this one using a gel pen. And then, boom, now we've got two eyes that look much more alive. Might take some of that out. Okay. All right, let's add some more detail to the eyes. Again, super sharp point. Prismacolors are notorious for dulling down really fast, but I love them so much. You just can't press down real hard when you have a real sharp point. So I'm just adding some darker area where her eyelashes would be. We're going to add, this probably should be something that I do last. Let's see if I can, he doesn't have it in here, and it could be because it would be so small. I'm going to add that little pink thing. I don't know what that's called, but that little bit of pink in the corner of the eye. And then sometimes, in order to make that eyeball look a little more round, if you add some gray to the outside edges, it kind of acts as a shadow. That might not be dark enough. And it helps to make the eyeball look more round. Okay, she's a pirate, and in my world, pirates are going to have dark hair. We'll do that on another video, but just to finish off her face, I use feathery strokes. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I think I'm pleased with that. Yeah. Well, she's either going to get a glove or I'm going to have to go back in and do the skin on her hand. Yeah, because I forgot to do that. So, oh well. You get the point. You get the picture of how I do it anyway. So that's it. I think that's going to be video 1 of Matt Davidson's Pirate Girl. I'm sure she has a name, and I'll figure that out and put it in the next video probably. But there you go. So that was not so hard, not so painful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you too much. And I will be back again later with part 2. Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye.